Good gray. Good gray. Good gray array. Mindness made this a way. Imagination aim. Imagination aim. Imagination aim. Particle matter wave. Radio science brain. This is the mindness at the mystery font. Oh! That's what this place is. That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm knitting executive function back together. That's part of what this place is. This is the imagination of democracy. Everybody is in the walls. It means that there are things to say. It means that the story is already telling. It means that the song is already spelling. Good gravy. Yes. Yes, yes, I am having an episode. This is an episode of Mystery Font 42. Ope Intuit. I would say print that. I would say that. That's sound reckoning. Waking wax out of wane. Radio science brain. This is the mindness. Love liaised. This is the kindness case. The kindness case. This is the sentient freight. Imagination 8. Imagination freight. You are deliberate. Radio science brain is a song poem thing, I think. And it sometimes starts happening. Good gravy. Good daily. It's a chronicle. It's a bimonocle. It's about the mind, about the potential of the brain, of our mind. Individual and collective. And about what stands in the way of positives, what stands in the way, which could be corruption or hate or falsehood. And it is in a way a journal, a chronicle, a document, yea, a journalistic effort in artistic form. Good gray array. And action staton. Action statons. Action state ions. Action stat ions. Stat ions. Action stat ions. Action stat ions. And radio science brain is 13 years old. Almost 13. There are different ways this can have root. There are different backing tracks that I can work with. And I think this makes sense. against pain remain as capital A. As capital A, I aim into imagination made, imagination aid. Radio science brain, imagination made this imagination aim into aid. It's kind of like I'm enabling a science aid. I'm labeling is worth the speculation and time I'm drinking. Imagination can tinker us willing things. Imagination weaving. Radio science brain, we can wake wax from wane. Imagination particle matter wave, not like the things we'd save. We know let's make behave become a tidal wave. This is the mind that's made this create, the creature I would ape. I'll ape this, I'll enable this minting. I'll bear this chilled ring, imagination might declare it's a I think it's up to us. I think we should call it us. Just us. I'm calling New Colossus at once. I'm calling New Colossus. I'm calling the ominous. It's not like we're dead to us. Our vision is here and trust. It's not eponymous. It's brusque. And let's brace it thus. I'm calling New Colossus the omnibus. Oh, it is the mystery font. Why, yes, it is the mystery font. That's what this place is. I feel like I keep saying that, but it's true. I think it's true that I'm saying it repeatedly, and it's true. Every building houses the imagination of democracy. Every lean-to, every wall teetering and lending greater shadow. Somewhere in there is a space of shelter for calm reflection, of safety, where the imagination of democracy can ope. And there are nexi. There is a nexus here. And so it is not the only, and it is not the most magnificent, but it is as small as it may be, Ope. And it is the mindedness of the mystery font that I'm a part of that has, I can witness this and share this place. But all of the, not just the occasional photograph or drawing, but the actual golden squiggles in the walls within the red and white stripes, the flag is fractalized and spread and come up around. And we can't see it, but it's streaming. I mean, it's adjusted for speed. This would be, what we're seeing is streaming. I mean, it seems static. But there's a part of this that is in constant stretching and flying and becoming this fractal, this gradient pulse, this extrapolation. One glint of a spectrum that is this, that in this nexus, this little cocoon pocket holds the imagination of democracy. I don't know what else to call it, because we're all here. And you're on the wall too, you're in here. So you may see yourself on the walls, or hear your voice. You may see yourself here. And I don't know how this place corresponds with the perceptible time-space continuum outside of the mystery font. I can't promise that I know everything about how this happens. I'm not always entirely cognizant of where the mindedness of the font and my understanding are not the same or don't overlap and influence one another. And so, this is the mystery font. And I seem to be constantly recovering or realizing the need for the recovery of executive function. That's what this place is. I think part of this place is processing our American apartheid. Yes. Yes, because we need to remember we can do these things. We can make it through an attempt at a resurgence of Ku Klux Klan and help those people to health care or accountability. We can process the crimes and mistakes and the diseases that we're still working on beating. And we can tell our children about those diseases that we're passing on or not passing on. But only with hard work. At stage and age appropriate ways in stage and age appropriate ways and times. We have to be responsible and tell our children about the dangers in the world, including the ones that we have created. And that definitely includes whiteness and racism. It definitely includes talking about white supremacy and patriarchal terror. Maybe not with those words with 7-year-olds, but with words that talk about kindness and that do address things like diversity and equity and inclusion. However, some people may be weaponized about and at words that are relative to kindness right now. That, to me, is derangement. To be so weaponized with tribalism that one is just playing for one team and against another team and working to win or conquer, and virtually out of contact with the actual material of how this affects anyone, or justice in terms of how the world should be. What we say we have been all along. We say we have been a place built on the idea that we are all created equal. And I think we've done, in some regards, a massively bullshit job of that. And if we ever meant it, we should prove it. Every backwards, regressing bigot pushing for this fascist takeover that we will break might simply go to therapy and learn to dig into and deal with your own big feelings, rather than digging into and dealing with and through other people. We won the Civil War and we won the 2020 election. Good morning, America. We do have to face and make buckle and crumble Project 2025. If it ever meant anything, this is when it means everything. If it ever meant anything at all, then it means one thing now, and that's that we find union to protect an institution built to vaunt people above institution, at least as far as we all have the right to pursue happiness. And where the mother falcon is that. Where sweet, sweet mother falcon, where is our right to pursue happiness if we are legally being farmed? Where is the right to pursue happiness if our time is not ours, or if we are terrorized? And if terrorized news networks take propaganda as the script and tell us that a person who sowed insurrection has announced that they're running for president, and gosh, I wonder how this will fare. As if a horse race is appropriate when someone who is trying to break Hitler's record tells us they're coming back while we're trying to get a restraining order. We are under attack. We are under attack by neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan. And wings with new names of that patriarchal, terrorist, racist bullshit, such as Moms for Liberty. Jesus Christ would flip those tables in a heartbeat. Jesus Christ doesn't have anything to do with Christian nationalism except being stolen and misused by people either hoodwinked by predators or predators themselves. Look to it. If you think that Marjorie Taylor Greene is leading you in the right direction, you have been hoodwinked by the falsehood. Christ, I believe, saw that human need has a throne. That for those who care about the significance to our culture and what informs a number of people, at least in terms of background that they then bring into what they think about in the world, and hopefully bring in as part of their knowledge set in ethical ways, if they are a judge or hold power where it's good to understand how not to let bias rule. Are we in a time when there's virtually anyone really cognizant of actually standing for something when the seductive wisp of someone who does not care that their hate is clear and that they smell like shit they'd rather not take the time to deal with, and that everyone's just going to grin and bear it? We seem to be dealing with submission. That there are a lot of people who have internalized a lot of harm and take the incredible degradation and savage looting of America that Donald Trump began and means to complete. That see that looting that he has done and the rupture of his oath and literally abandoning his post by changing what he was about. If you no longer are, it didn't matter whether or not he was in the crowd breaking windows or leading the charge saying, go and get them when there was violence happening. That doesn't have anything to do with it. Generals can be miles away while their attack is underway. But the point is his loyalty. The point is his loyalty broke. If it was ever there, it was revealed to be broken. It makes more sense than if you didn't realize before that that might be a possibility with him. It makes more sense then to go back and look at the debate where he told us he would keep us in suspense. When asked, you'll honor elections, right? You'll leave because there's a peaceful transfer of power. That's the tentpole of democracy. You'll leave, right? Saying, I'll tell you at the time, I'll keep you in suspense. That's not what you want to hear someone say when you ask, what time will my son be home tonight? Not too late, I hope. Or, well, sure, you can stay here for a few days, but I can only do a couple days. You'll understand that, right? You don't want to hear, I'll keep you in suspense then. You want trust to be fostered, not a crotch grabbed and shocking boundary violation, or a liberty taken out loud and maybe in front of others as a shocking degradation or a shocking boundary violation. Hitler grabbed the Sudetenland and was appeased. Donald Trump said he could grab our private parts, and he said he could shoot us and not lose any voters. And he grabbed our private parts. And he said he'd already actually declassified them with his mind. So we were wrong to think that he was wrong to grab our private parts and move them around and endanger lives all over the globe by taking things that don't leave that room ever, as if he was above the safety and above the honor and above the training and know-how and loyalty that he cannot even perceive to be a possibility as a real thing. And he shat on all of that. He means to do worse. He pooped in the soup, and he says nothing was wrong, even though that's why we let him go. Or that's what he did to try to stick around. He pooped in the soup. We all saw it. Some of us tasted it. You don't poop in the soup and then say, there's nothing wrong with the soup I made. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm actually, when I think about it, I worry that when I said that the people that made that soup, I told them what to do, but something somewhere happened. I mean, the soup they made that day was terrible. It was a terrible thing. And then later to say, actually it was an amazing soup, and nobody really knew how great it was. In fact, I'm going to go and visit the people who made so many people sick. I'm going to go and visit them. They're really heroes. They're hostages. You don't say nothing was wrong and then come back for the empty chef position, saying, I'm going to make you the greatest soup ever. But only on day one. And the rest of it's going to be great, but not the greatest ever. This is going to be Peter the Great, dude. We have to stop Donald Trump and Project 2025. And that means stopping M. We have to stop Stephen Miller. Together. Together, America, we can stop Stephen Miller.